You see this fish? This is silver arowana. Shiny, long, and looks like a dragon. But there are some really good things and also some really bad things about this fish. Wanna know what those are? This is Taj Mahal Aquatics, and let me show you what those are. Silver arowana, the most common yet classic arowana variants, but also kinda too basic to me. Now don't get me wrong, if you still wanna choose this fish, they are still totally fine. They still look like dragons like the Asian ones, but they will not bust your wallet. So I can safely say that they are also permanent arowana. And before you buy one, or about to plan to get one, I just wanna let you know that there are some good and bad of this fish you need to know before you get them. So before you get one, let's go through both sides of good and bad of this fish, so you can rethink your decision to get this fish before you regret it. Wanna know what those are? Let me show you. Let's start with some good parts of having this fish. Like I said before, even though this fish is too basic for an arowana, they are still totally pretty good to keep. And here are some great things you get if you keep this fish. The first one, they are cheap for arowana. Sure, they still cost more than your goldfish, but if you compare it with other arowana, including the Asian one, this fish is a Black Friday deal arowana. They are easily the cheapest arowana money can buy. And we all love cheap things, right? So who doesn't love a budget-friendly dragonfish? And this is why I call them the poor man's arowana, or millions of people's arowana, as they are cheap and everyone could afford it. And this is just one good thing about this fish, and there are more good stuff you get if you choose this fish. But for you who watch this video, are they cheap in your area, or do they still cost a fortune? Drop it in the comment section below. Another great thing of choosing this fish is that they are the most legal and easy to find arowana. Wanna keep an arowana, but don't wanna be the next Escobar? Get this arowana. No need to worry about legal stuff, as silver arowana is 100% legal in most countries. And best of all, you can find them everywhere. No need to deal with legal stuff or pre-order like getting a freshly launched Samsung phone. And this is another great thing of keeping this fish. No need to feel like a criminal to keep this fish, and you can find them easier. How many of you know that this fish is actually smart? If you didn't know, let me show you this cool stuff about this fish. Silver arowana are surprisingly smart, and just like many other smart fish, they can recognize their owner, and they can respond to movement, and some can even be hand-fed. And because of this, they can form a bond with you too. If Bishir can be your very own toothless dragon, this fish can also be your own toothless dragon too. And that's also the great advantage / fun side of having this fish. And for you who have this fish, are they really that fun to have? Share your experience in the comment section. If you need a one-of-a-kind centerpiece fish that kinda looks like a dragon, just get this fish. You cannot go wrong with a silver arowana. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on the most expensive super red arowana to be your tank centerpiece. Just get this fish. They still look awesome without busting your wallet. So if you have a slot for arowana as your tank centerpiece but don't have the budget for Asian arowana, just get this fish. They could work just fine. And this is just another great thing of getting this fish. Now this one is interesting. Did you know that this fish can actually be a good introduction fish? Yeah, you heard me right. Silver arowana can actually be a good introductory fish. But there's a catch. They could be an introductory fish if you want to get into the arowana hobby, not to start fish keeping. And if your goal is to start fish keeping, just choose platies and guppies. Silver arowana could be your first step into the arowana world, but there are a few things you have to note. First of all, you need to have an experience with other semi-aggressive fish, like Oscar or B-Shear. Second of all, you need to have a massive tank, as they really need it. Thirdly, you need to know how to manage your water quality. And finally, you need to understand the fish's behavior a little bit. And those are the footnotes you have to follow if you choose this fish as your gateway to arowana world. And if you follow this rule, you just open yourself a gateway to a more expensive and rare arowana. But what do you think? Is silver arowana a good starter arowana? Let me know in the comments. So there you go, the good stuff about the silver arowana. They can actually be a fun fish surprisingly, and maybe worth buying than Asian arowana. But does that make them perfect? Absolutely no. Cause like every other fish, there's also the downside of this fish that everyone should also know, which I'm gonna show you in a moment. Alright, before we go into the downside of this fish, why don't we have a quick facts break? This fish is a jump master in the wild, but did you know how high they can jump? 2 feet? No. 3 feet? No. 6 feet? Yeah. This fish can jump as high as 6 feet. That's taller than most of us. And if Michael Jordan were a fish, this fish would be him. Only difference is, they dunk themselves out of your tank. Pretty cool, right? And if you find this fact cool, give this video a thumbs up, and let's carry on with the downside of this fish. This fish may look like a perfect fish to keep because there are many great things we get if we keep this fish. But let's be real, they are still far from perfect. And there are also some downsides of keeping this fish, which I'm gonna show you now. The first one, they are way too boring. Okay, I'll say it. They are kinda boring. This is my opinion, by the way, as I keep this fish not once or twice, but 4 times. And I must admit, they are kinda boring. And maybe it's because I live in a country where Asian arowana are 100% legal. It clearly strengthens the statement that these arowanas are boring. Sure, they are cheaper than Asian arowanas, but I cannot hide the fact that these arowanas are kinda plain. And this is one of the downsides of this fish. They are dull. And if there's an option for a better arowana, I would rather save money for a better arowana. Remember when I said that they are a jump masters? Yeah, that's not just the facts, but that's also one of the downsides of this fish. These fish are jumpers. And if your tank doesn't have a proper lid, don't be surprised if your dragonfish become ikan asin. They could dunk themselves out of your tank, so make sure you have a proper lid in your tank if you want to keep them. Otherwise, the last thing you want is to see them dunk themselves out of your tank just for an insect. And this is one thing you have to pay attention to if you want to keep them, and this is also the downside of this fish too. And for you who have this fish, have they ever dunked themselves out of your tank? If so, how many times they did it? Tell me in the comments. I'm curious to know. You may see them small sometimes or many times at the store, but that doesn't automatically say they are great for your 30 gallons. Wanna know how big the tank they need? 75 gallons? No. 100 gallons? No. 150 gallons? Bigger. They need at least 250 gallons or even bigger. And this is one of the downsides of this fish. You need a massive tank to house them. And a bigger tank means more space and more money, so the cheap price point is kind of pointless. Here's something not so fun. If you plan on keeping this fish, watch out for this. They may be tough, but silver arowanas are prone to drop eye and jaw injuries. One of the reasons why they have drop eye is they look down too much because of their environment, plus eating habit where the food sinks to the bottom, which makes the fish looks down more. And if they get spooked or a little too wild in your tank, they could also suffer injury in their jaw. So keep an eye on them. And this is another downside of this fish. Lastly, they are no beginner's fish. This last one is the most obvious one. They are not for beginners. They may be a good arowana to start, but only if you really want to get into the arowana hobby before you going for a much more expensive arowana. Yes, it's the cheapest arowana, but still a demanding species. So it's clear why this fish is not for beginners. And I guess this is also another downside of this fish. So if you are new to fish keeping, just stick with guppies and platies. And why would you even start your fish keeping with a dragonfish? And those are the downsides of this fish. They may be cheap for an arowana, but it doesn't say that they are a perfect fish to keep. This fish also has some downsides, and this is what you also have to pay attention to before you're planning on keeping this fish. Don't just buy the fish just because they are cheap and can be a fun fish. There are some things you have to know also, and one of it is the downsides of this fish before you are really sure to keep this fish. So there you go, the goods and the bad of silver arowana. Are they cheap for an arowana? Yep. Can they be fun? Absolutely. Sure, they are the most boring arowana in my opinion, but they can still be a good fish to keep. But are they perfect? Not even close. Even though they could be a fun fish to have, they could also be a painful fish to have as well. depending on how prepared you are. So before you buy one, think twice. So that's a wrap for this video. And would you keep silver arowana in your tank? Let me know in the comment section below, and give this video a thumbs up if you like this video, and share this video to your friends before they get a silver arowana. Subscribe this channel if you want to see more fun fish content, as there will be more in the future. Thanks for watching, my aquatic friends, and have a wonderful aquatic life. See you next time.